Hi guys, Mike here from MyKeyReviews, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the new Sony Actioncam, the HDR-AS100VR. So this comes as one whole package. You get the main Actioncam here, which is the AS100V, and just beneath that you've got the live view remote. Now the live view remote can actually control up to 5 cameras at once, which is pretty impressive. So I'm presuming they're going to roll out more Actioncams just standalone later on once they've rolled out more of these, because there's just no point in buying more packs of these once you've got this main pack, because the live view remote controls more than one camera at once. Okay, so if anyone has seen or owned the previous models of the Sony Action Cams, the AS15 or the AS30, then I'm sure you know just how good quality they are. But this is actually an improvement both externally and internally, so I'm just going to read out a few specs. So first of all, it has an 18.9 megapixel XMOR CMOS sensor. It also has a new advanced Bions X processor, and the lens is a Zeiss ultra wide Tessar lens. And it also has a new splash-proof design, which I'm sure many people are going to be very pleased about this. And it also has NFC, Wi-Fi and GPS features. The Wi-Fi and the GPS is nothing new. They are both in the AS30, but the NFC is something new to this model, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be happy about. There are other features as well. Obviously, it does have the steady shot. Once again, nothing new there. However, they have simplified it, so if you've got steady shot on, that's the 120-degree angle, and if you've got it off, then you've got the 170-degree angle there. It also has high-speed mode of up to 240 frames per second, and also a new really high video quality mode, which is basically an XAVCS format, and that's 50 megabits per second, so pretty impressive stuff. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing. So I'm just going to turn this up this way and just lift this up. I've already pre-cut because it was a bit of a nightmare to cut and film at the same time. So the first thing to come out is the main action cam, and you can see already there's been such an improvement to the waterproof housing. First of all, there's buttons on the side, so you can control this when it's in this case, which is fantastic. And it just seems a little bit more solidly built, as well as a lot more smaller as well. In fact, I've got the old waterproof housing, and you notice that there is a big difference in size. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, so that's the first thing to come out. Next we have a box with a clear bit of plastic on top, and we have the live view remote. There we go. Okay, you know what, I'm actually going to take this off. Here's the live view remote. You've got a nice rubber part on the underlay there, so a good bit of grip, but it does seem quite short. And on the front you've got the record button here, as well as the navigation up and down. Then if we open up this box here and throw away this is a pretty small box. Okay, so the first thing to come out is the micro USB cable. Then we have the battery, which is the same in pretty much quite a lot of the compact cameras that Sony do. It's the MP-BX1. This here is a tripod adapter for the AS100, however that will restrict certain ports that you can get access to. This one here is a curved mount, so you just get one of these, followed by a flat mount. This is the main clip which you actually put the action cam on, and finally we've got another little compartment, and it seems like quite a lot in here. Crikey. This is all paperwork, so this is going to be all the instruction manuals. They must have this in pretty much every language. That's a crazy amount of documents. So now I'm going to do a quick overview of the action cam. So first of all, the waterproof housing, which has been muchly improved not only by the compact size, but the addition of the navigation buttons on the side here. It also has a more sturdy button with a hold lock there. And at the front you've got an improvement on the stereo holes. Now to open this up, you have to slide this down and then just flick this open. And you may notice, if you're used to the old styled waterproofing housing, that this is actually quite different the way it latches on. This actually goes over the top rather than latching from the inside. And you also notice a little pad there just to keep this more snug when it's inside the case. Okay, so compared to the old models, this is a completely different color. This is actually white compared to black, and the main reason for this, I believe, is because with darker colors it absorbs more light, which makes it a lot hotter. With white, it's going to reflect all that light, and it's in theory going to stay a little bit cooler. Now on the side here, you've got this little bit here. I'm not sure if you can see that. That's actually like an infrared light detector. So if you've got an infrared remote, you can actually, like, for instance, press record. Depending on what mounting you have on this, it may block it and you may not be able to use it. On the side here, you've got the NFC logo, so this is where it is. So if you've got an NFC device, then you just tap it on this side here, and it also shows it's Wi-Fi enabled, which you can activate on and off by pressing the previous and next button at the same time. Otherwise, if you just want to skip left or right, you can do that with the previous or next button set. And this is the LCD screen, which will give you the information of, like, you know, the time recordings, etc., and also the menus. On the bottom, you'll notice that this bit is actually flat, which means that this should, there we go, stand upright. It's about time. Why on earth on the previous models they made it round, I do not know. Now on the far right, you'll see this little thread here. Now unfortunately this isn't going to fit on a normal tripod, so you will need the tripod adapter, which restricts the use to the microphone port. This is the problem that we had with the previous models. So Sony really haven't done a good job on that part. However, they do have a skeleton mount which will solve that issue. But if you want to get access to the microphone port without, you know, like having a skeleton frame or whatnot, then you're out of luck, unfortunately. Now to the left of that, you have an extension port. So this is for like additional accessories that may become available later, etc. And you've also got the HDMI out, which is a micro HDMI cable that you will need for that one. Then to the left of that, you have the multi-out, which basically this is how you charge your device with the micro USB cable, or you can connect it to your computer to transfer over files. Obviously on the back, you've got the record button as well as a hold slider, and this is another improvement, is the battery hatch is actually, it locks into place. There we go, so you have to do that to open it. With the old model, if I can actually find it, here we go. Now, I didn't have any issues at first, but as time gone by, you know, with more usage and all that, it actually became really loose and it can easily flap open, which wasn't very good at all. So at least with that one, they've solved the issue because it just locks into place. Now, inside, once again, another improvement. You don't have to rely on a bracket to put the battery in. So if, for instance, on the old one, if the battery bracket broke, you have to buy a new one. With this, you don't need to do that because you don't have to rely on one. And just above that, you've got the micro SD slot. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for all the features. You've got a little record indicator up there, so when it records, actually I'll do that now. There you go, it's recording, and you can see it's recording. And that's all to it for the product overview. I hope you found this video helpful as well as enjoyable. But apart from that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on my next video.